Last week I went on a school trip to Spain, and I noticed that at most of the tourist attractions there were like crowds of people taking pictures of the landscapes and not actually really paying attention to the history, and that made me it seemed that they were going to post all of those photos on social media, and like nowadays people are or seeking approval by posting lots of like stuff there. So today I'm going to be talking about how to live for yourself and not for others, and how to have a happy life. So firstly, why are people unhappy? It's because they care too much about what others think of them. So for example, I know my aunt Betty, every single time she goes out, she spends a long time like debating on what outfit to wear, and before she leaves the house she always goes around and asks family members whether or not the clothes are suitable for her, or whether or not she should go out or it looks good. So, but on the other hand, my cousin, well, she wears like whatever she wants, and she'll wear all sorts of like really bright colors, and even her pajamas outside, and she wears like, she even has like a tongue piercing as well. And it seems ironic, and like, because my cousin seems a lot happier than my aunt, because she just does whatever she likes, and my aunt wants to like seek validation from others and their approval. So the book The Courage to Be Disliked says that internal worry is always linked to the outside world, and that there's no such thing as worry completely defined by the individual, because it all depends on the environment that we're in and the people around us. So the only states that the only thing needed for happiness is the courage to be disliked, and we mustn't fear being disliked, but freedom is being disliked by others, and that the courage to be happy includes the courage to be disliked, because many people also think that if they're liked by other people then they will like automatically achieve happiness, but that's not actually the case, because you can't make everybody like you. Secondly, the psychology of unhappiness. So the authors of the book, Kashimi and Koga, state that everyone, no matter their past, has the potential to be happy. So the main difference between happy and unhappy people is their willingness to change. The psychologist Alfred Adler also says that the self is a unified whole made up of the body, mind, emotions, and thoughts, which all work together towards a common goal, and that our goals don't just affect our happiness but also shape who we are. Kashimi and Koga explained that Adler doesn't judge people by focusing on their personality traits, but instead of through the lens of their lifestyle, because he believes that the habits, emotions, and thoughts make up a lifestyle we choose, because a lifestyle is a way in which like we can achieve our goal in the end. So says that they say that antisocial behavior is as a choice and a way of pursuing certain goals, and that our goals not only influence our actions but also shape our emotions, because first, when we decide what we want, we can create emotions to help achieve our goals. So for example, if someone is so anxious about a job interview that they're so scared they don't even prepare for it or attend the actual interview, then the true goal is to avoid the interview instead of like going to it, because it means that they don't really want the job, and the true goal is to avoid the risk of failing the interview. So the fear as an emotion will help them out to achieve their goal. And so we're not determined by our experiences, but the meaning we give to them, and the goals that we applied for relationships determine how happy we are in them. So thirdly is why is external approval a dead end? So this is because unhappy people make gaining approval from others their main goal, and they believe that true happiness comes from being seen good by others. So once they're liked by others, it makes them a good person. So for example, on social media, lots of like the influencers post videos and stuff for likes, and they dedicate like the whole entire life and lots of time into making like good like posts that people like. But it's strange because the people who like the videos only spend around a few seconds each time liking it, and just might click on the video out of politeness. So many people believe that the desire for approval and seeking validation is in human nature, and it's natural for everyone to feel like that. But actually, we don't seek approval to find happiness. In fact, we find happiness in approval because it's like a deeper need, because, which comes from the reward and punishment education, where, for example, there was like a study done with like some scientists did a study on rats, and they had like a red button and a yellow button, and every single time the rats pressed the red button they would get food, but every single time they pressed the yellow button they would get an electric shock. And and then after like a while the rats stopped pressing the yellow button and only pressed the red button because it gave them a reward, and the yellow one gave them the punishment. So this, like for example in school as well, when you do like a homework nicely, the teacher might give you a distinction, but if you do something bad, like get into like an argument with someone else, then they might tell you off and punish you. So this means that we pursue validation, and we end up living according to someone else's expectations, which means we sacrifice our freedom and happiness to become the person they want us to be instead of who we want to be ourselves. And the problem of this goal to like gain approval from others is that this is impossible, because whether or not they approve of you, it's not in your control. It all depends on other people. So to avoid the risk of failing their goal, unhappy people will often justify it by saying they are flawed, which is like a limiting belief, and it can harm lots of relationships, because firstly they tend to like fear the success of others, because they think that they need to be better than other people to have more validation and to be approved instead of the other people. And secondly, it's also founded on sacrifice, as unhappy people believe that every relationship is founded on how much you sacrifice for them. So they feel entitled in the relationship and often have high expectations of the other person as well, and feel resentful if the other person doesn't achieve them. So for example, if the unhappy person, they threw a surprise birthday party for their friend, but their friend didn't throw them one back on their birthday, then they will feel very resentful towards them because they didn't match the expectations they set. So, and furthermore, unhappy people will often feel wronged when they do something nice but don't receive anything back or any gratitude in return. Fourthly is how to live a truly happy life. So first is to focus on helping others, and because once you contribute to others' well-being, we start believing we are useful to someone, and if someone feels of use, they will stop seeking recognition for others and have the awareness to say that I am of use to someone without going out of their way to be acknowledged by like others and seek their approval. And happy people can serve without expecting anything in return, so that they can bring joy to others by simply existing. And it's also fine to like serve yourself as well, and like follow your passions and your goals to be happy. So there was this story I read about this like Japanese man who wanted to make like apples, but like organic ones, which didn't use like chemicals in them and like pesticides. But and he spent a long time trying to achieve this because but he was determined to not give up even when things got really hard, and he ended up losing quite a lot of money, but he was still determined, and in the end he managed to succeed, and eventually he was successful, and his life was very happy because he did what who he was passionate about and what he believed in, and eventually he achieved his dreams by creating managing to grow organic apples free of chemicals, which actually tasted better than a lot of the normal ones, and also didn't decay as well. So in conclusion, I believe that we should all focus, follow our passions, and focus on helping others and to live for and also that we shouldn't seek approval from others, and instead just follow what we believe in to achieve our dreams, and that everyone has the potential to be happy, basically. I hope that next time I go on a trip to Spain or anywhere really, I don't see as much people just with their cameras or phones out, and instead just enjoy the moment. That's all for today. Bye bye.